Hey guys, this is going to be kind of a walkthrough on how to do a mail merge. This is going to be for Saturday, February 1st, and Wednesday, February 5th's assignments. Both of them require you to do a mail merge, so I'm just going to kind of walk you through how to do that and do it properly. That way you don't lose points. Because students in the past, when they think they've done it right, they submit it and they get a 0, and they're like, why did I get a 0? So it's probably because they didn't fully complete the mail merge. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through that. Your file is going to look differently than mine. I'm just going to go through the mail merge steps. So you'll do some kind of styling to the table here before we start the mail merge. But yeah, I'm just going to go through it really quick, and I'm going to open up my instructions here and go to the steps where it tells me to start a mail merge. So step 12, that's where you're going to want to start. It says start a mail merge using the step-by-step mail merge wizard. You must use current letter as a starting document, and this is going to be your data source. Pretty easy enough. So we'll go back here, expand that. So mail merge, where is that? That's in this mailings tab here. You got mail merge right over here on the left here. So you click on this, drop down. You want to use a step-by-step mail merge wizard because that's what the instructions tell you to use. So you get here, you're going to be writing letters, so you just want to make sure that's checked, and then you go to next step. Here the instructions tell you use current documents, so make sure that one's checked, and go to step 3. Here you want to use an existing list. If you had an Outlook contact list, then you could use that, but for the purposes of these assignments, you want to use the existing list. And so you want to find your data source, you click on Browse. For me, anytime I download a folder, it'll show up in my downloads, or download a file or a folder to show up here. So I want this one right here because it tells you, hey, this is the data source I want, which you should have downloaded here. So you have 3 files here. One's the instructions, one's the assignment you're working on, and the other one's the data source. So make sure you download that data source because you'll be using it. Alright, so I want to use my data source. Click open. This pops up. If you need to do any kind of sorting or anything like that, you'll want to do it here. The instructions will tell you if you need to do that or not. But I just want to hit OK here. So that's it for step 3. Just going to make sure that my file's there. And so now I want to go into step 4. Now here is where you can add stuff to kind of customize and individualize and personalize, I guess is the right word, your letters. So the instructions, we'll go back to those. So we've done all of step 12. The last step was getting that data source. So the next one is to replace the bracketed placeholders in the letter address block, first name, and days working with fields from the data source. Use default settings for the address block. Okay. So what's that? It wants you to replace this, this, and this day's working down here. Those are the 3. So for the address block, as you can look over here, you've got an address block. So you just want to make sure you select that, delete it. If the text jumps up, make sure you put that extra space in there. That was there, otherwise you will lose points for it because it's going to be looking for stuff on different lines, and if it's not there, you'll lose points. But anyway, so you get back to where that spot is, click on address block. It said use default settings, so don't touch any of this. It'll look like that. Make sure it looks like that. If it doesn't, you're going to need to switch it so it does look like that. But default should show as this. But if it doesn't, make sure it does look like this. So hit OK. And you get these little arrows right here on either side of address block. This is kind of code for the software, for the program, that says, hey, whenever you see this, pull from my data source that I put in step 3. Next thing you can do, there's 2 steps you can do this. You can either highlight everything including the comma, delete it, and you want to put in a greeting line, and it said use first name, so we'll come down here and just get the first name. Don't shorten it, just get the first name here. So it'll look like that, and that's kind of a preview of everything here. So there's Justin, dear Justin, that's what it is. So you hit OK. So you either have the greeting line there, or what we can do is delete this first name. And if you come over here, these are going to be kind of your things that are common in letters. So usually when you have a letter, you have an address block, you have a greeting line, postage, If you're not using any one of those three, then you just want to come down to more items here, and it'll pull stuff either from your table that's on here, or in this case it comes from your data field or your data source. So we want the first name, so just make sure that's highlighted, hit insert just once, it shows up there, hit close. And then we want to come down here, highlight days working. Again, days working is not something you normally see, so you want to click on your more items over here on the right, highlight days working, hit insert once, and close, and you'll get this. Again, the arrows just say, hey, pull from the data source. So that's it for step 4, just replacing those three. Let's go on to the next step. So that was step 13 for the assignment, step 4 in the mail merge wizard. Next is you want to complete the merge, merging all records with the data source, resulting in 3 letters. This is the important one that a lot of people mess up on, and if they do, you'll pretty much get a 0 or very, very few points. So this is probably the most important part of the wizard. So we want to come back here. Step 5, what this does is it allows us to preview our letters. And if we look here, Dear and Justin, there's no space there, so we want to make sure we put a space. If we didn't do that, if you look over here, none of them have a space there. So we'll just put that in for Dear Justin. You can do this for any letter. But if I put it here in step 5 for the preview, it'll apply that change to all the letters involved. And if you can come down here, you can see that, so this is Mike Salat's letter. He works Monday through Thursday. He's got Monday through Thursday down here, his address up here. So it looks nice. And you just kind of go through this and see how it does customize it. So the day's working here for Karen matches that. So step 5 is just kind of a thing to preview, make any changes that you need to. That way you only have to make changes to one of them. And the last step, you want to come down here, where step 5 is 6 right now, we want to go to complete the mail merge, which is step 6, and probably the most important part. So when you go to step 6, you have these 2 options here on your right, one's to print, one's to edit individual letters. This is the one you want to hit, is edit individual letters. You want to make sure you have all of them, hit OK. And it opens up this new document. As you can see, I've got this one that's still in the mail merge, and this letters 1 document just opened up. And if you scroll through all this, you'll see that all 3 letters are on there. This is the file that you want to save and submit. You're done with this one. Don't need to worry about that, although I would have it open just in case. So when you submit the assignment, if you have anything that's wrong, you can go back and complete it a lot easier as opposed to starting over. But again, you want to open up, or whenever you complete the mail merge and merge all the letters into one document, it opens up this new file that shows these 3 letters. Make sure your letters are all 3 pages. If the 3rd letter here has an extra page at the bottom, just kind of hit here and hit delete so that it gets rid of that last page. But that's only if you have a blank page on after this one, because you want to have just 3 pages. It'll be one document though. So then you just go File, Save As, save it wherever you want, and that's the one that you want to do. So that is how you do a mail merge. That's it for the assignment. So once you get that letters 1 document, or that extra document that opens up with all the letters in it, you want to save that as this name or whatever name you want, just something that'll help you distinguish between the one that you're submitting and the one that you've been working on, because they are, again, 2 separate documents. So edit individual letters, pulls up this new file with all 3. This is the one you save and submit. So yeah, that is how you do a mail merge.